Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Charlotte Motor Speedway for the FBRL Napa Truck Series season finale. 67 laps around the 1.5-mile oval of Charlotte Motor Speedway. We will decide our 2020 Napa Truck Series champion here tonight. And joining me in the booth is 24-time winner of the Sony Cup Series and two-time champion, Richard Johnson.
Thank you for having me. It's good to be here. I think we're going to have an interesting race here under the lights at Charlotte. That's what I think.
Yes, indeed, Richard. And, you know, you've won 24 times in the Sony Cup Series, so you know what it takes to win. You know what it takes to be a champion. You've done that twice. We've got 4 drivers in contention here today. Will Goss, Tyler Black, Austin Murray, Ryan Butcher, all starting right here in the top 6 in picture. And, you know, what's it going to take for one of these guys to be the champion?
Consistency and good defense, I can tell you that, because when you got these trucks going on these big speedway tracks, there's going to be a lot of drafts, and having all 4 of these guys up here in a sandwich is definitely going to create some drama and implications.
The trucks have been fired off. They're going to pull onto the racetrack here. We'll get you to your starting lineup. Will Goss on the pole. It's his 5th pole of 2020, so Goss officially starting 25% of the races from the pole position. Teammate Blake Warren will start to his outside. Tyler Black, Austin Murray in row 2. These are the 2 drivers with the best chance to win the championship. Austin Murray has a 7-point lead over Black coming into this race. Ryan Butcher, who's in row 3 to the outside of Griffin Label McDermott, is 22 points back, and Will Goss, who's on pole, is 23 points back. Row 4 is Jack Halleck and Ryan Dagby. And in row 5, we have J.D. Martin and Ryan Reed. Drivers that did not qualify for the race tonight: Jack Porkins, Gatlin Downey, Diego Yepes, Thomas Lipscomb, and Joseph Srigley. Austin Miller was fastest in practice with a 30.492. He starts in 30th place. And your 2020 Napa Truck Series most popular driver is the 56 of Samuel England. And Samuel will start today's race in 14th place as they come through the restart zone. Green flag is out, and we're under the way here at Charlotte Motor Speedway.
Rookie Tyler Black gets off to a poor start coming into turn 1 here. That's going to allow Austin Murray to sneak down the line behind Will Goss there as they round the first 2 corners.
Down the back straightaway they go. These trucks will get up to speeds of almost 180 miles an hour. And then they'll drop it down to about 165 on new tires. There is a ton of tire fall off here today at Charlotte Motor Speedway. And we should see tires reach degradation levels of up to 4 seconds.
As we expected here, though, early, we're going to have some high close pack racing as we got some good multi-groove action going here. Will Goss trying to defend on the top from Austin Murray. So they're going to continue to be side by side here down the backstretch.
Goss will clear Murray into turn 3. Now Murray is side by side with Goss's teammate Blake Warren. Warren won a race in 2019. He has not found victory lane yet in 2020. He'll be driving for Breeding Enterprises in 2021. But Blake, with a good qualifying effort, he's keeping it up here at the front of the field, as all 4 of our championship-eligible drivers are up here in the picture. Goss in the lead, Murray in 3rd, Black 4th, Butcher 5th. As Griffin Label McDermott sits in 6th. McDermott is still looking for that first top 10 on the season. And I think of his career, if he doesn't get it tonight, he'll be back in 2021 with S3 Motorsports.
Going to be a good opportunity here for Blake Warren up here running with these championship guys and that Flipside Motorsports Craftsman Chevy. Him and his teammate both appear to have really good trucks, and this is exactly what Will Goss is going to need to catch up to these other guys in the points as they go 3 wide heading into turn 3.
Tyler Black had a huge run of momentum out of turn 2, and he took it 3 wide on Murray and Warren. Warren will fall back side by side there with Butcher as Black will clear Murray and put the 34 of Tommy Roberts Racing up to 2nd place. And now here comes Murray's teammate Ryan Butcher looking for 3rd.
Tyler Black, the rookie, was not going to be denied there on that restart. He found his way back up to 2nd as Will Goss is very happy to see what's going on behind them. We're going to see how spread out these guys will get with that tire wear as championship contender Ryan Butcher gets up to third.
And right now, all 4 drivers that have a chance at this championship are 1st through 4th. Butcher won back at Atlanta, effectively becoming the first driver to hit 3 wins in the Napa Truck Series. It was his 2nd win of the season, and now he will just drive right on by Tyler Black for 2nd.
Tyler Black really missed that corner. They were really starting to see how impactful that fall off is going to be as these guys shuffle side by side racing for the best position they can set themselves in.
Let's look at the back half of the field as these guys do battle. Blake Warren in 5th, Jack Halleck, Hardy's National Series driver, in 6th. He's the highest of the non-Napa Truck Series regulars right now. Down McDermott in 7th, Ryan Reed running in 8th, Brandon Crasta is 9th, and Nick Breeding has just passed Ryan Dagby to get into the top 10. Dagby and J.D. Martin appear to maybe not have as much race pace. They qualified in the top 10, but they have fallen outside of the top 10, as now they are 11th and 12th place, respectively. And Richard, I want to know, like, how important is it to have a qualifying setup compared to a race setup at a track like Charlotte?
It can be very important even in these trucks because track position is going to really give you an edge at the start of the going here. There's only 67 laps in this race, especially if you're going for a championship here. Getting a top qualifying spot is going to be everything. It's going to give you the edge you need to put yourself in a comfortable position to go for it.
Looking at Jarrett Gross looking for 12th place on J.D. Martin. Gross received a 25-point penalty for spinning Nick Pericles last week at the Charlotte Roval. Gross was 4 laps down. Pericles was running in 2nd, 2 seconds behind Ben Crouch. And that took Pericles out of a shot of a win. Will Goss also received a 15-point penalty for spinning Ian Brandt and knocking him out of the race. So that has really affected Goss's shot at a championship here tonight. As now Hannah Allen will pass J.D. Martin. Nick Pericles going to pass the 38 with her. As you can really see a gap here from Dagby to Nick Breeding. I don't know what it is with the 5 and the 38, but they appear to just not have the race pace compared to a lot of guys that qualified behind them. As Blake Warren has fallen down the order, he's now in 8th.
And if we pay attention back to the front, we got leader Will Goss. He has been ran back down as they're still jockeying for a position up near the front between these contenders of Austin Murray and Ryan Butcher, respectively. And here comes number 34 car of Tyler Black back to the inside.
And right now it looks like Murray, Black, and Butcher have been trading 2nd through 4th. And now Jack Halleck, who's made it up to 5th, he wants a shot here at the front. But so far, so good for Will Goss. He's led all 11 laps of the race tonight from the pole. Let's go to the back of the field and see what's going on back here. TJ Smith is currently running in last place. Julio Caesar not having the best of days. Almost forgot to mention Dylan Young, a fellow Sony Cup Series veteran. He started in 26th place, but he has fallen down to 40th, and I guess Young was able to find something in queue for this truck. That is the lone truck out of Sanders Performance Auto Racing. But Young has fallen down the order, racing now with Bob Burns. Roberto Crown Jr., Kyle Springer also down here in the order. As we work our way up here, Lane Sanders, something crazy was happening during the week before this race. And Lane Sanders' Jack Daniels truck has a picture of a raccoon on the hood. You can't really see it, but man, they sold a piece of this truck to put a raccoon on the hood, and it's something I have never seen before in my life.
That's very interesting.
Sanders is currently running outside the top 30. Dewey Schramm the third, a couple other guys struggling back here. It's Cody Lamas, another Sony Cup Series driver, not having the best day. He's down in the dumps mid-pack right now. Austin Miller, who started 30th, has been making his way up through the field a little bit as they're 3 wide now, as it really looks like J.D. Martin is boxing up the running order here. We can see Samuel England there in the 56, your most popular driver. And there's Ben Crouch in the 1, who got his first career Napa Truck Series win last week, running the Roval configuration of Charlotte. There's a few more Sony Cup Series drivers, Saden Davidson and Ryan Acosta. Acosta qualified in 23rd. It was not the best qualifying effort for him here today at Charlotte Motor Speedway. But right now he's running in 15th place, maybe trying to get by Dagby and J.D. Martin and start closing the gap on the front runners. As you can see, the gap is really gotten huge, Richard. Now, like, what would you do here if, you know, you're trying to close up what is about a 2-second gap in a package that is heavily draft reliant?
Well, the only thing you really can do is try your best to get single file. You know, these guys are all jockeying for position back here, and that not only is that going to limit the ability that they have in the drafts, pulling each other back, but it's also going to probably wear their tires more. If I were them, I'd try to get some truce going, try to get back single file to see if I can work forward to those front 13 trucks, as that's just going to slow them down even more from trying to catch up to them, and they're not even going to have a chance to win this thing. It's
actually 12 trucks, but close enough. Pericles and Krasta are trying to fight for a top 10 position here, as Griffin Lepo McDermott is about to fall outside of the top 10. Jarrett Gross up to 9th, Breeding up to 8th, as Halleck has fallen back from the top 4. And now looking for the lead is Tyler Black, coming to lap 19, and Black to the inside of Will Goss. Will Austin Murray go with him? Yes, he will.
Will Goss has had that lead and that clean air early on in this race, but did he run out the tires too much? Did he use too much tire trying to hold on to that lead?
Going to look at the fastest lap of the race. It belongs to Griffin Lepo McDermott, a 30.597. The fastest lap we saw in practice was a 30.492 set by Austin Miller. So about a tenth slower compared to practice times. But Tyler Black will go to the race lead after Goss leads the first 19 laps. Want to talk about scenarios here to win this championship. Tyler Black comes into this race 7 points behind Austin Murray. If Tyler Black were to win tonight, he would need Murray to finish 4th or worse. As Murray has not won at all this year, Black has, so Black would get the tiebreaker. Ryan Butcher needs a little more help. If Butcher won this race, he would need Tyler Black to finish 12th or worse, and Murray to finish 19th or worse. And then Will Goss would need another position out of Black and Murray, and then the points gap between Goss and Butcher is 1 point. And the points difference from winning to second is 5 points. So, yeah, it would not really matter where Butcher finished if Goss were to win this race, as Goss is going to pass Tyler Black back about 2 laps later and take this lead back, as we expect the pit window to be somewhere around the halfway mark of this race. It could be lap 32 to about lap 35 would be the ideal window to come down pit road. But tire fall off is huge. We're going to bring up the overlay here for a second and just show you how far down they go. About 145 miles an hour. You can look to the top right corner and see, compared to their fastest laps on the race, they've already reached 2 seconds of fall off.
Which is going to be huge, which makes me more curious if Will Goss still has anything left. It looks like he still has life in that truck. Meanwhile, the 28 of Jack Halleck has passed the number 80 truck of Ryan Butcher. So, you know, you still got guys that just want to go for that win, trying to get in front of this championship 4 line.
Halleck's last race in the 28 truck was Road America, and I believe it resulted in a top 10 finish. As now you see Nick Breeding really closing in. Both of the Texan trucks appear to be strong tonight. They've had a bit of a rough go in the last few races. Either Breeding has the great truck or Reed has the good truck, and tonight they both appear to have really fast Chevy Silverados, as now the top 8 has split away from 9th through 12th, as Lepo McDermott has fallen outside of the top 10 and Pericles has jumped into the top 10.
And you can't count out Blake Warren. He's still running up there right in that pack. We know he has a good truck because his teammate has a good truck, and who knows, maybe he's been saving his tires, trying to work his way back to the front. But all this side-by-side racing has not only helped Will Goss try to pull back out again, has also helped the second Pap trying to group up and get up in front to these guys.
Butcher has made it back past Jack Hallett for 4th place. As you see Ryan Acosta leading the rest of the field in 13th place. Cody Lamas 14th place. England 15th. AJ Jones, Ben Crouch, Christian Vargas, JD Martin, and Austin Miller the top 20. So Miller up 10 positions. That's another Flipside Motorsports truck. So Miller's showing that he's got race pace because he showed it to us in practice. Just a poor qualifying effort. But we'll see if Miller can drive his way up through the field and maybe have a shot at a top 10 if things can go his way. Zayden Davidson is now racing Ryan Dagby for 21st. So Dagby goes from starting 8th to being outside the top 20. And J.D. Martin has gone from 9th to also almost outside the top 20.
Been unfortunate runs for them, but as the fall off increases, we're here to see who's got the really good trucks and who does not, and it's going to be really interesting as we still got over half a race to go.
Looking here at Cody Goforth, he was slotted to run this Ford truck the last 2 races of the season. It's the first time Eric DeMax nor Jordan Fisher have been in this truck on a weekend where the Sony Cup Series is also racing. And Goforth, in just 8 starts this season, is 26th in the points with a top 5 and 2 top 10s and an average finish of 11th. So Goforth has been very consistent. He'll be driving full-time next year for Zingles C Racing, so it'll be interesting to see how Goforth takes his 9 races of experience this year into 2021, as another driver who had some starts last year and transition to full-time this year was this man leading right now, Tyler Black. Black ran 3 races for Tommy Roberts Racing in 2019, and it has transitioned to 2 wins for him this year.
As we have a new lead change again, number 34 of Tyler Black back to the lead on the 94 Will Goss. They're still tussling, trying to go back and forth to see who can get off front here before you potentially have a pit stop, which I believe is coming up soon, as the 28 of Jack Halick tries to pull back up to these 3.
And if you look in the top right, once again, you can see the fall-off has eclipsed 3 seconds, just 7 laps later. So the later these guys go into the run, the more tire wear, the more grip loss we're seeing, as the trucks are still reaching speeds of about 175 down the straightaway in draft. But as we watch Jack Hallett go into turn 1, you can see he's got to lift it all the way down to a $144.
Jack Halleck's looking really good right now. He's about to make a move on the number 70 truck of Austin Murray. Heading into 3 here. Looks like he's not quite going to get there. But, you know, saving those tires, that's going to be key here. And Blake Warren is looking.
We talked about the championship scenarios where Black needs, if Black were to win this race, he would need Murray to finish 4th or worse. If Black were to finish 2nd, he would need Murray to be 9th or lower. But right now, it looks like Black's got a truck capable of winning this race. But he needs Murray to be 4th or lower if he's going to want this championship, as Goss is looking to his inside again here on lap 31. We're about to hit the pit window. Richard, when you hit this window, do you prefer undercut or overcut?
You know, with how much fall off there is in this scenario, I think it's just all going to depend on how productive and how quick your pit stop's going to be. Because if you overcut, you know, you take a risk of losing too much time. If you undercut, you risk having 2 worn out of tires and having other guys that perform better than you catch right back up to you. So it can really go either way. It's just going to all depend on where everybody comes out where, and if you got a friend or not in these trucks. Draft is going to be super strong. But I really think these Flipside Motorsports machines are going to be really hard to beat.
We're watching now Jack Hallett passing Murray for 3rd, now looking for 2nd on Goss as we hit lap 33. You can go either way here. You can go 33-34, 34-33, do whatever you want at this point. You are going to make it to the finish most likely, so now the question is, does anybody pit here coming to lap 34? Goss led most of this run, so I would think he has used the most fuel out of anybody.
It looks like he's going to be okay, though. Looks like these trucks are going to make it. But here he comes now down pit road. It looks like the 8 of Blake Warren, his teammates, going to follow him, and so will the Texas Motorsports guys.
So Goss, Warren, Reed, and Breeding, who were front runners, all come to pit road as we're trying to get to the rest of the people pitting. Hannah Allen, AJ Jones, Vargas, Crouch, Miller. So all the flipside trucks come in. Davidson, Goforth, and a couple of other guys down pit road. Dylan Young is one of them. Lane Sanders, Julio Caesar, I believe that is, and TJ Smith. That leaves Tyler Black out on the track, and now he will duck it down to pit road, as it looks like everybody else is going to come down. Oh, and Patrick Smith will actually elect to stay on the racetrack. So Smith will go one more lap, and that'll be about the most you can overcut it all. He'll actually lead that lap too. He beats Tyler Black to the line by a nose.
Definitely think that was a good call there. That way it gives him position to pit by himself so he ain't getting slowed up by other trucks, and he'll have the lap pressure tires.
So Smith will check up here to pit. Will Goss comes out first out of his group. Blake Warren second, and Ryan Reed third. And Breeding a lot farther behind Reed.
It's going to be interesting how trucks blend in there. It looks like he already passed the number 80 of Ryan Butcher there. Where is these other trucks going to come out?
There's Tyler Black, as Hannah Allen appears to have had a really poor stop, and we're hearing Hannah Allen did not enter the pit safely. She received a 30-second penalty, so now she will be effectively one lap down. She will have a lap advantage on these undercutters tire-wise, but Tyler Black, the first of the overcutters, will come out of pit road 3 seconds behind Will Goss. And we're looking at our data here off screen, and fall off had reached about 3.5 to 4 seconds. So I think Black is in a pretty good spot here. He had a really good pit stop.
Yeah, that's going to be huge right here if he can pull up to the trucks that are in front of him. Meanwhile, the teammates of Will Goss and Blake Warren are in control of this field, as we see the 56, the OG of Samuel England, on pit road still.
And it appears that Bob Burns and Samuel England have had issues on pit road. Unsure what the deal is, but the most popular driver and 2019 Napa Pro Series champion will not get a win in 2020, as he will run full-time in the Sony Cup Series next year for Red Bull Racing. As we hit the line, it's 30 laps to go for Will Goss, but right now he is still not having enough things go his way. He really needs Black and Murray to fall down the running order. Butcher does not really matter. But Blake Warren is closing up on his teammate here. The fresh tires and the draft really working out for Blake Warren, looking for that first win of 2020.
Looks like that 34, Tyler Black's going to have more help with the 26 of Hannah Allen and the 40 of Nick Breeding. I'm sorry, the 41 of Ryan Reed. My bad. As they might be able to pull up on these guys, as they're side by side for the lead, which is going to help them too.
Especially if Will Goss battles back here. We've seen the top work in certain scenarios tonight. As you see, Goss is able to get his nose next to Warren's right rear quarter panel going into 3, but Warren will slide up. And now Goss will cut back down to his inside. And the more these two battle for the lead, the more that's going to allow Ryan Reed and others to catch up. As you see, Tyler Black gained a ton of time that lap, as now Black has a ton of momentum catching up to the back of Ryan Reed, and he'll look for third place.
And these two are going to be sitting ducks here if they don't get panned out soon. I figured Will Goss getting behind his teammate Blake Warren might be a part of a saving tire strategy, so they can just ride around But if they're going to continue to run side by side and race for it, not only are these three going to catch them, but there is a second pack back there of trucks that are hungry on fresher tires that may also be able to run them down.
Samuel England coming back out on the racetrack as we've got a caution. Yellow lights are on, and it does not appear that the front runners have hit the line. Racing back to the yellow, Goss is going to try and take the lead here from Warren. The accident appears to have been in turn 3. As we see several trucks on pit road, Warren will lead us back to the first caution flag of the night. As at the caution, there are a total of 26 laps to go.
This is going to change everything.
All right, Richard, you've run almost 10 laps on your tires. You've undercut. Do you allow the overcutters to automatically get all the time they lost by overcutting back here and then not pit? Or, like, does everybody come in here? If you undercut, do you come in here? Like, what's the call here? Because we're coming out of turn 4, like, right now.
It's going to be tough. It depends on who decides to pit and who doesn't, but I feel like anybody that does pit here from the back is going to have a huge advantage, and I'm surprised nobody has taken yet, because that fall off may be a huge difference. And if I'm in the back of this field, I would come down and pit. If I was near the front of this field, I would just take it for what it is and hope that you have a good enough truck to hold on. But surprisingly, nobody back here is pitted, which I am really shocked of, because they have nothing to lose. But besides that, I mean, I think you just got to stick it out.
Yeah, so nobody pit. We had, I think, about a dozen trucks undercut and the rest of the field overcut. And then this man, Patrick Smith, went a whole nother lap. He's down to 33rd from that. So with the field bunching back up, if none of these guys elect to pit any of these other laps, Smith is going to have the most grip in the corner for what he can do with his equipment. And then the highest of the overcutters right now is Tyler Black in 3rd place, but we'll get to the rest of the running order after we look at what brought out the first caution flag of the night. Taking a look at what brought out our first caution, JD Martin and Austin Rogers are racing for like 28th or something here, and JD's just going to get into him and turn Rogers up the track, and then JD is the one who spins out, and oh man, Julio Cesar, Sebastian Kugelon, nowhere to go. Everybody else misses it. Taking another look at this wreck. Richard, lead me through this one.
Looks like the 38 trying to jockey for position and get what you can at the end. Looks like he's just going to come to the corner here. The 35 runs a pretty high line of Austin Rogers, but it looks like JD Martin's just going to kind of get into the back of him, and they're both going to make contact. They're going to go around here. They both get into the outside wall. JD Martin almost got away with hardly any damage whatsoever. And they both go into the outside wall, and, you know, when you got two cars sliding down the track like this, it's normally not a great thing. And it's going to be really close here for a lot of drivers. But it looks like the 62 of Julio Cesar is going to get into it, and the 05 of Sebastian Kugelheim behind him is also going to get into it. And some really hard licks there. Looks like everybody else is going to get through it clean. Close call there, though, for the 5 of Ryan Dagby and Dylan Young, even closer. Both just barely getting by, but these 3 trucks looks like they're inevitably done for the day, as they did.
Yeah, Julio Cesar, man, his back end came off the ground, and Kugelon's front end went off the ground, but crazy impacts. Looks like both drivers are safe. Window nets are down, and we're going to take few onboards here. On board with the 2 of Dylan Young. Let's see how he missed this one. Great driving by the Sony Cup Series driver. On board with Sebastian Kugelon, who was running in 30th place at the time of the accident. It's a tough break for Kugelon's season. 1 back at Phoenix, but he will not get a good result here tonight. Getting ready to go back racing here under the lights of Charlotte Motor Speedway. We'll have 22 laps of racing to go. Hannah Allen is a lap down. Samuel England and Bob Burns are 5 laps down, as Kukulon, Caesar, and Martin are all out of the race. 36 trucks on the lead lap. Blake Warren leads. Will Goss in second. Both of those drivers undercut. Tyler Black third, first of the overcutters. Ryan Reed is fourth. He undercut. A.J. Jones fifth, I believe, was an undercutter. Pericles sixth. Breeding seventh. Miller eighth. All those guys, I believe, also undercut. Austin Murray ninth. Ryan Butcher 10th, both overcut. Halleck is 11th. Acosta's up to 12th. I know Acosta overcut. Cody Lamas, Crouch, Crasta, top 15. Lane Sanders is up to 16th. Gross, Davidson, Bobo Jones, Bilson, and the rest of the field as we get ready to go back green. Austin Johnson's motor has let go.
That's an unfortunate break for him, but it looks like we're going back green flag racing.
So we are going to go green here. No caution flag will fly for this, but Johnson was running just outside the top 30, but a tough break and end to his day as we are 3 wide at the front of the field right now.
You got Hannah Allen in the 26 truck. No, we know that machine has a good truck. Samuel England trying to make it 3 wide, 4 laps down, because why not?
Tyler Black up to second place, passing Will Goss. Remember, England and Burns have 5-lap fresher tires because they were stuck on pit road. Hannah Allen is basically an overcutter because she had a 30-second penalty. England's going to drive away from this pack, I think, as we are 3 wide. Warren and Black for the lead. Burns, who's 5 laps down.
And more importantly, that 34 of Tyler Black has passed Will Goss. He's got fresher tires in both of these trucks. Will that 1 lap make a difference as they're trying to get through these lap cars who have decided to drive away?
And now we are 3 wide for the lead as Nick Pericles is on the inside with Black and Blake Warren. And now Austin Miller finds himself in the top 5. And all the flip side trucks are running top 5 right now.
And as they would say, where did they come from? That caution made or break everybody.
And it looks like the undercutters are not that far off. Miller's going to get really tight on the inside, but Blake Warren is holding off Tyler Black on the outside line right now as we are at 19 laps to go in the 2020 season. Jack Halleck's going to make it 3 wide. We're 3 wide by 3 wide here.
Pressure tires playing a role, at least than what we had at the end of the run of the last time. And this pack racing showing its colors here before the tires warm back up as the 34 of Tyler Black and Will Goss are side by side again.
That is for second place. See, Hannah Allen has about the same tires as Black, but she is falling away from Blake Warren. And that could just be a performance difference between the flip side 8 and the north border 26. Samuel England has driven away. This S3 Motorsports Chevy Silverado is hooked up, and fresher tires is helping him out. Bob Burns has 5-lap fresher tires in this Caesar Autosport Ram, and Caesar is usually around 30th place equipment, but with the tire difference, Burns has been able to stay in front of Blake Warren, as now Tyler Black will peek to the inside of Hannah Allen, and that is not for position.
That lap truck is going to really help these front few guys that have really good trucks try to pull away from the pack, especially that 34 car and that 8 truck. As I say, car instead of truck.
Pericles up to 3rd place. Looked like he had a really good shot at the win last week at the Roval just to get wrecked by a lap truck. Now he's looking for maybe a shot at a win as Will Goss will peek to his inside. Jack Halleck in 5th. And Austin Murray running in 6th, fighting with Ryan Reed. Go ahead, my man, Richard.
Tyler Black's going for the lead, or he's trying to go for the lead. If he gets out in front of Blake Warren, that might be it.
If Tyler Black finishes 2nd, he needs Austin Murray to finish 9th or lower. If Tyler Black were to win this race, he just needs Murray to finish 4th or lower. 16 to go there at the start. No, wait, 15 to go there at the start-finish line. So every lap we go, things get more intense. Now Nick Pericles has closed up towards Tyler Black, but Hannah Allen with the outside line run is going to put her in between second and third place. As Ryan Acosta has made it inside the top 10. And Sony Cup Series drivers have been doing amazing in this 63 machine all season long. And could we see it hit victory lane here tonight?
Ryan Acosta could come up here and make an upset.
As the 63 truck has been very fast, but it has not won a race yet this season. Acosta has driven it a few times. As I'm trying to look for him in the point standings.
Tyler Black and that 34 Frontier Communications, Tommy Roberts Racing Ford, is looking really good right now. He's in perfect position to possibly win this race and then go for a championship. But Hannah Allen is not going to be denied, and so are these other guys that were back there from the earlier run trying to get positioning.
And man, Blake Warren has a really good truck because, you know, I guess the 1 lap difference is not a big deal right now in the middle to the early of the run because, you know, he's holding on for now. But Hannah Allen and Tyler Black got really good corner exits there.
That lap truck just hanging far enough ahead of them to give that A truck the boost he needs. Not a dirty air, but a draft. And that's helping him stay and pull ahead. But I'm telling you, Tyler Black right now, he is in position to make it happen.
Nick Pericles is still showing a shot at this. Jack Halleck, Will Goss. Still, though, what a season for Will Goss, even if he doesn't get this championship. 2 wins, 6 top 5s, 10 top 10s, and 5 poles, counting tonight's race. As now, Acosta gets put 3 wide with Brandon Crasta and Ryan Butcher.
Ryan Butcher in desperation mode. He has a chance to lose a top 3 spot in the points right now. The Will Goss as it currently stands for the end of this race.
I just want to talk about Anjato here for a quick second. Anjato last year was looking very poor, and then they found something that worked. They won a race with Ryan Butcher at New Hampshire, and now this year they've won several races with different drivers in the 4 truck. Eric DeMax with a win at Daytona. Jordan Fisher with a win at Chicagoland. And then Butcher has won twice at IRP and Atlanta this season. And now Murray is looking to be in position for a championship without even winning a single race. Coming into this race, Austin Murray, no wins, 6 top 5s, 13 top 10s, and a pole. And that is a series-leading top 10 count of 13 top 10s. But he just needs to finish in a certain position right now and not have Tyler Black win this race. Or if Tyler Black does win this race, he needs to finish 3rd. Go ahead, Richard.
As it stands right now, all 4 championship contenders are in the top 9. Tyler Black is currently in 2nd place. You got Will Goss right there in 5th. You got Austin Murray in 7th. And then Ryan Butcher is currently, I believe, in 9th as there are under 10 laps to go.
And Butcher's going to take 8th there from Crasta. Breeding has found his way into the top 10. Ryan Reed has fallen out of the top 10. Remember, Reed and Breeding were a part of the undercutters, as I believe several undercutters are falling down the order. You see Austin Miller now down to 15th. AJ Jones has fallen to 17th. And even Lane Sanders down to 22nd. McDermott was top 10 earlier. He's down to 23rd. Patrick Smith, who has the freshest tires on the track, has made it up to 25th. As we hit, I believe, 7 laps to go. As we make one final run through the field here. Dylan Young down in 32nd. And then Samuel England is just gone. Look at this. Samuel England out of turn 4. And Tyler Black has made a pass for the lead on Blake Warren. And this is huge for the championship because Austin Murray runs in 6th place. He made it past Will Goss. Warren is not done fighting for this lead as Ford is looking for their first non-Sony Cup Series championship.
That lap truck of Bob Burns is still up there too. Will they run him down or will their battle side by side will keep him from running back into him is a great question. But these fresher tires showing a huge play. And here is the man, the myth, the legend, Ryan Acosta. Where did you come from, bud?
I don't know where Ryan Acosta come from, but all of a sudden he is in third place, and he is a part of the overcutters with Tyler Black. And he has lit the fuse, and he is up here now with 5 laps to go.
Dude.
Could Acosta, this would be huge. If Acosta gets this win, Porkins Crunchyroll Incorporated wins the last 2 races of the Napa Truck Series season.
Don't count out that 48 truck of Nick Pericles as well, right there in 4th.
Hannah Allen is in between Pericles and Jack Halleck, so I think right now it's looking like these top 4s. Black is starting to pull away from Blake Warren. Murray still sits in 6th right now. Tyler Black would be your champion.
Austin Murray trying to make up the spots he can. He is 2nd out of the championship contenders running currently. But if the 34 truck wins this race, he's got to finish even better.
If Murray holds his current running position and Black falls to 2nd, Murray would win the title by, at the moment, 2 points. As Acosta is on the inside of Warren, coming to 3 laps to go, and they're using the draft. Does he have a shot at Tyler Black in that turn 1? He does! He throws it in!
Acosta representing us OGs proudly.
Side by side, coming out of turn 2. An advantage, Ryan Acosta.
Blake Warren's going to go with Acosta.
And that just put the championship back in Austin Murray's lap. 2 laps to go in the season. Does Tyler Black have anything left to challenge Ryan Acosta? He's there.
He's coming back.
Real quick, fastest lap of the race will go to Acosta, a 30.581. Black to the inside with help from Blake Warren.
It's gonna get interesting.
Oh, Acosta gets a really good entry into 3, but Black has the nose. This will be the camera angle for the last lap. Halleck looking for 4th on Pericles as Murray and Butcher are side by side. Black has the edge at the white flag. Everybody going to the inside line, but Acosta using his Sony Cup Series experience to get the run. They're dead even down the back straightaway.
It's gonna be close.
Black needs to pass him to win the championship.
Austin Murray's trying to hold on to 6 back there.
Tyler Black got tight. He got tight. Ryan Acosta will win.
Bruh.
And Austin Murray is your 2020 Napa Truck Series champion as he finishes 7th. Unbelievable. It just got tight on him. It just got tight on Tyler Black, and Acosta was just able to make the middle stick. And what a heartbreaking feeling for Tyler Black here tonight at Charlotte Motor Speedway.
Gave it all he had, though. He had a great rookie season. Got to give all the credit to him, and there's no shame to losing to the Sony Cup Series guy over anybody else, even if it did change the championship implications there.
Ryan Butcher was able to beat out Ryan Griffin, another Sony Cup Series driver at Atlanta, for an intermediate win, but Tyler Black here tonight at Charlotte, unable to beat out Ryan Acosta. And Austin Murray, who does not have a ride for 2021, won this championship.
Someone sign these dudes. That's all I can say. Someone sign these dudes.
What a race. Porkins Crunchyroll Incorporated wins back-to-back to end the season. And if we come back to Charlotte in 2021, I bet PCI will be looking pretty happy knowing that they've got great data for both the Roval and the Oval. Blake Warren will come home 3rd. Reminder that he will be back next year. So no wins for Warren in 2020, but looking like a strong contender for 2021 with his experience. Pericles 4th. Halleck will round out the top 5. So looking at the top 5, the only drivers we know running full-time next year are Tyler Black and Blake Warren. If you go down and look at the rest of the top 10, the only other driver returning to the Napa Truck Series is Ryan Butcher. Butcher finishes 6th, Murray 7th. He's your champion. Will Goss 8th. He'll be moving up to the Hardee's National Series. Brandon Crasta 9th. And Nick Breeding will round out the top 10. Cody Lamas 11th. As we look through the rest of the running order here, in a brief look, we'll have your official race results come up on the screen. And we'll see burnouts from both Ryan Acosta, your race winner, and your champion, Austin Murray. As it appears something happened to Austin Miller on the final lap. He is showing down in 35th as if he had a problem, so we're going to take a look and see just what happened here to Austin Miller. Looking at what happened to Austin Miller, he's racing Christian Vargas here for 18th, and just coming out of turn 2, something happened to Miller. And looking at the results sheet, it was a tire that goes down for the 37 here on the final lap of the race, and that drops him from a top 20 finishing position to 35th. So not the way Miller wanted to end his season. He had a tough race at the Roval.
Looks like we lost that tire.
Yeah, he had a tough race at the Roval, and then he lost the tire here right at the end. And that is a tough break for Austin Miller, but another Austin Murray, came away with this championship. So I want to thank Sony Cup Series driver and 2-time champion Richard Johnson for joining me in the booth. Eugene DeMax was in the booth last season, so keeping a bit of a tradition going here, and we'll see if we can get somebody else in the booth for the finale next year. But thank you, Richard. Thank you for joining me tonight, and I hope you enjoyed watching the race from up here instead of being down there.
Oh, thank you for having me. I tried. Our commentary skills are pretty rusty, but we did our best.
That'll do it here for me in the 2020 Napa Truck Series season. It's been a pretty good run this year. I commentated, I believe, 10 of these races as me and Dylan running this series, commentating this series for y'all. And I'll see you for 2021. And yeah, Ryan Acosta is your winner. Austin Murray is your champion. We'll take you to burnouts and the official race results. Signing off from Charlotte Motor Speedway. We'll see you in 2021 for the Napa Truck Series.